The research station Zenith Horizon hung in the perpetual twilight between two dying stars, a monument to humanity's relentless push into the cosmos. For 3 years, it had served as the primary contact point between humanity and the Vacrine, a species whose existence had shattered every assumption humans had made about intelligent life. Anna Kowalski adjusted her neural interface, feeling the familiar tingle as the translation matrix synchronized with her auditory cortex. Across the observation deck, the Vacrine delegation stood in their characteristic formation, a geometric pattern that their species found comforting in unfamiliar environments. She'd learned that much after 18 months of careful study. Dr. Kowalski, her assistant David Chen's voice crackled through her earpiece. The atmospheric readings are stable. You're cleared for direct contact. Anna took a measured breath. The Vacrine didn't breathe oxygen, didn't breathe at all in the way humans understood it. They absorbed trace particles from space itself, their crystalline skin acting as both armor and respiratory system. It was just one of 1,000 differences that made communication a delicate dance of patience and precision. The lead Vacrine, whose designation translated roughly as "she who carries the seventh dawn," stepped forward. Her body caught the dual starlight, refracting it into impossible colors that human eyes struggled to process. The effect was simultaneously beautiful and unsettling. "Dr. Anna," Seventh Dawn's voice emerged from the translation device, flat and emotionless. "We proceed with Cultural Exchange Protocol 792. Anna nodded, consulting her datapad. Protocol 792 involved the sharing of aesthetic concepts, what each species considered beautiful, meaningful, worthy of preservation. It was delicate territory. 6 months ago, a similar exchange had nearly caused a diplomatic incident when a human researcher had inadvertently insulted Vacrine architectural philosophy. David appeared at her elbow, his arms loaded with holographic projectors. At 26, he was the youngest xenocultural specialist ever assigned to the Zenith Horizon. His dark eyes met Anna's with an expression she'd learned to read over their months working together, nervous excitement tinged with careful calculation. "I've loaded the Earth-nature sequences," he said quietly. "Mountains, oceans, forests, nothing with animals. We still don't know how they'll interpret movement-based life." "Good thinking." Anna took the projector from him, their fingers brushing briefly. She pretended not to notice the way he held contact a fraction longer than necessary. The Vacrine assembled in a semicircle as Anna activated the first sequence. The hologram expanded, filling the observation deck with the image of the Himalayas at sunrise, the peaks catching golden light against a deep blue sky. Seventh Dawn tilted her head, a gesture the humans had identified as curiosity or analysis. Her crystalline features reflected the holographic mountains, creating a strange doubling effect. "Vertical structures," she stated. "Your species finds elevation aesthetically significant." "We call them mountains," Anna explained. "They represent permanence, strength, the sublime scale of natural forces." "Inefficient," Seventh Dawn replied. "Such formations impede optimal resource distribution across planetary surfaces." David stepped forward before Anna could respond. "But efficiency isn't the only measure of value," he said carefully. "Beauty can exist in contradiction, in challenge, in things that resist optimization." The Vacrine were silent for exactly 4.7 seconds. Anna had learned to time these pauses. They were processing, consulting whatever neural network connected their minds across vast distances. "Explain beauty," Seventh Dawn finally said. Anna felt her pulse quicken. This was the moment, the actual heart of the exchange. She cycled through the holographic sequences. A Japanese garden in autumn, the northern lights dancing over Iceland, Van Gogh's Starry Night, the Taj Mahal reflected in still water. "Beauty is what moves us beyond logic," she began. It's the sensation of encountering something that speaks to something deeper than reason. It can be found in symmetry or asymmetry, in nature or artifice, in the familiar or the alien. Paradoxical, Seventh Dawn observed. Your definition contains contradictions. Yes, David agreed, surprising Anna with his boldness. Because beauty is subjective. What I find beautiful might not move Anna. What moves humans might not affect Vakrin at all. Seventh Dawn's crystalline skin rippled, a response the humans hadn't fully decoded. Demonstrate subjective variance. Anna looked at David, saw his mind working. He pulled up his personal files on the holographic projector, bypassing the carefully curated diplomatic selections. The image that appeared was candid, unpolished, Anna herself, captured 6 months earlier in the station's botanical lab. She was laughing at something off-camera, her red hair escaping its usual tight bun, soil smudged on her cheek from repotting the station's precious earth plants. This, David said quietly, is beautiful to me. Anna felt heat rise in her face. David, that's not. It captures authenticity, he continued, speaking to the Vakrin but his eyes on Anna. The subject is engaged in work she loves. The imperfection, the dirt, the messy hair makes it real. Real is beautiful because it's honest. Seventh Dawn moved closer to the hologram, studying Anna's captured image with an intensity that made the real Anna uncomfortable. You find your colleague aesthetically significant. I find her beautiful, yes, David said simply. The observation deck fell into charged silence. Anna's neural interface detected her own elevated heart rate, the spike in adrenaline. She'd worked with David for months, had noticed the careful distance he maintained, the professional boundaries he never crossed. This public declaration in front of the Vakrin delegation shattered all of that. Explain the significance, Seventh Dawn demanded. Beauty as applied to another member of your species. Anna found her voice, though it came out rougher than intended. In human culture, calling someone beautiful can be complex. It can indicate aesthetic appreciation, romantic interest, or simple acknowledgement of attractive qualities. Which application does Dr. Chen intend? David turned to face Anna fully. The binary starlight caught the sharp planes of his face, and she saw something in his expression she'd been carefully avoiding for months: vulnerability, hope, fear. All three, he said softly. The Vakrin delegation began their characteristic humming, a sound that indicated deep processing, consultation across their neural network. But Anna barely heard it. She was caught in David's gaze, her carefully constructed professional distance crumbling. This is highly irregular, she managed. The protocol doesn't call for. Forget the protocol, David interrupted. I've spent 18 months watching you decode an entire alien species communication system. I've seen you work 18-hour days to prevent misunderstandings that could end human-Vakrin relations. I've watched you care about every detail, every nuance, every possibility for connection. He paused. And yes, I find you beautiful. Your mind, your dedication, the way you laugh when you finally solve a translation problem, even the way you argue with me about methodology. All of it. Seventh Dawn spoke, her translated voice cutting through the moment. This is human pair bonding initiation. Possibly, Anna heard herself say, if the other party is receptive. And are you, David asked, receptive? Anna's scientific mind cataloged everything. The way her hands were trembling, the tightness in her chest, the absolute certainty that this moment would change everything between them. The cautious part of her wanted to defer, to maintain professionalism, to cite fraternization protocols and power dynamics. But she'd spent 3 years studying an alien species that communicated through mathematical precision and found human emotion baffling. She'd translated countless concepts, bridged seemingly unbridgeable gaps in understanding. And somewhere in that process, she'd forgotten to translate her own feelings, even to herself. Yes, she said, I'm receptive. Seventh Dawn's crystalline form rippled again, more pronounced this time. The entire Vacrine delegation began emitting a harmonic frequency that set the observation deck's instruments flickering. Fascinating, Seventh Dawn declared. We observe emotional volatility leading to pair bond formation. This is human beauty, this chaos. Anna laughed, genuine, unburdened. Yes, this chaos is part of it. We do not understand, Seventh Dawn stated, but we acknowledge experiential validity. Your species finds beauty in inefficiency, contradiction, and emotional unpredictability. We find beauty in connection, David corrected gently, even when it's complicated, especially when it's complicated. The Vacrine were silent again, processing. Then Seventh Dawn made a gesture the humans had never seen before, her crystalline hand extended toward Anna, not quite touching, hovering in the space between them. You are beautiful, she said, her translated voice still flat but the words themselves carrying weight. By your own species parameters, efficient cognitive processing, dedication to interspecies understanding, physical structure within standard deviation for human aesthetic preference. You are beautiful. Anna felt tears prick her eyes, tears that the Vacrine would never understand, produced by emotions they might never feel. But that was okay. Understanding didn't require sameness. Thank you, she whispered. Seventh Dawn withdrew her hand. We require additional processing time. This exchange has provided significant data. The Vacrine delegation turned in their geometric formation, preparing to depart. As they filed out, Anna and David stood together in the starlight, the weight of what had just happened settling between them. That was quite a declaration, Anna said finally. Overdue, David replied. I've been composing speeches for months. None of them were as eloquent as I'd planned. It was perfect, Anna said. She reached for his hand, felt his fingers intertwine with hers. Inefficient and contradictory and absolutely perfect. Outside the observation deck, the twin stars continued their ancient dance, and somewhere in the vast darkness between worlds, the Vacrine transmitted their findings to their homeworld. Humans find beauty in chaos. Note for further study. But inside the zenith horizon, two humans discovered what their species had known for millennia. That sometimes the most profound discoveries aren't made in the stars, but in the simple act of seeing another person truly, and choosing to speak the truth of what you see. You're beautiful, David whispered again just for her. And Anna, brilliant scientist and careful diplomat, froze, not in confusion like the Vacrine, but in the perfect crystallization of a moment when everything changes, when the universe realigns around a single, truthful statement. Then she smiled and whispered back, "So are you." The stars bore witness, and the story of humanity continued, written not just in exploration and discovery, but in the small, brave moments when one person tells another the simple, complicated truth.